Blessings and bliss, you guys. Let's jump right into it. I really see why people don't do intros because we ain't got time for all of that. I got like 9 more signs to do, and I'm on number 3. So, Aquarius, let's get this in. I am very concerned about Aquarius right now. There is a lot going on in the planets that you guys need to know about, and so I will work that into your reading. Let's start this off with your very first card. And we have the Knight of Cups. And it just seems like the air signs are just looking for love right now. You guys are looking for a message of love right now. And you guys got the Cup of Love. You got the Knight of Love. Knight of Cups. Sorry. And it is reversed. And so this is telling me that you're not receptive to receiving anything right now. That this is an area that you are focused on. So you could be waiting to receive some kind of message concerning your emotions, concerning love. But the only thing about this card, and I got a new deck, you guys. This is called Tarot of the Sweet Light, and I think I'm even going to do a whole review on it. Like, the way this just opens up your mind, like, this is a beautiful deck, okay? And so when I'm looking at this card, it kind of looks like you guys are more concerned about the messenger than the message. And it doesn't look like you would want to be too hopeful about what the person has to say. You're more concerned that the message is actually reached, because what's in these cups is not water. It's not a cup of emotion. It's sand. On top of that, I don't know if the sand is going in the cup or if it's being poured out of the cup. And so it sounds like this conversation that you're waiting for, it could go anywhere. You don't know if it's beginning or you don't know if it's ending. And so it sounds like it's kind of confusing. And when you're building relationships, you want it to have a strong foundation. And so even if you get this message that it looks like you are waiting for, you and the other air signs, I don't know that it'll be promising. I don't know that it'll hold water. So, I'm not saying to ignore a message if it comes in, but just, maybe not be that hopeful about the outcome. Don't put too much weight on the outcome, because the messenger looks pretty. The messenger looks really nice, but I'm not 100% sure about the message. So that's just an area you need to work on. Just be, maybe not be satisfied with superficial gestures. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna do too many clarifications because I'm still trying to figure out how to make these videos a little shorter, because once I start clarifying, next thing I know, it's like an hour and 30 minutes. So we're gonna wrap this up really quick, guys. This is a Aquarius light session that we're doing here, a light late night session. So your next card is the King of Wands. And so this guy, he's about his business. This is a king. The first card was a knight. And so this, I believe, is more your energy. I think that you Aquarius, you want to be more kingly. You want to act as a king. Kings make decisions. Kings go out, and they take care of things and they get things done. Knights are kind of, they take their time. They don't really have too much of a destination. No one's really looking for them to come around, to be anywhere on time, because, they're just doing their thing. They haven't come to that decision where they want responsibility on their back. They'll run errands, they'll do messages, they'll negotiate, they'll do things of that matter. But to have the true weight of a king, of the crown on their shoulders, is not something that a knight is looking for, which is also why I said that this message may be a bit superficial if you do get it. But you yourself want more. And so maybe this is now the energy that you can now be that which you want. And so since decisions are not being made around you, you want to now be in a position of power to make decisions. And so this is an Aries energy. So either you are absorbing this Aries energy, or maybe there's an Aries energy around you that could inspire you to do this or to be this. Because Aries is fire, and fires are sparks of light that are contagious and can catch fire. And so you want to be that. Aries are leaders. This is a leader. This is a king. They make things happen. They go out and they get what they need to get. And so this is the energy that you want and that you're hopeful for at this time. It does look like maybe you're coming out of some kind of situation. So that could be the hesitation, or that could be the need for this. You were in a situation where you did not have control and things were happening around you. And so now you want to make sure that you are in control. And so again, it looks like you're coming out of a situation. But this card kind of speaks to the fact that you are out of that situation. And to know that you can move forward and you can walk freely, and you are now in control of your environment. So take that control and be a leader and do what you need to do for yourself and for those around you. The next card is the Ten of Cups. And this speaks about, something unconventional, but emotional fulfillment. And this is something that must be on your mind. It's something that you want, but it looks like maybe you're thinking about closing the door to this fulfillment, to this happiness. And maybe this King of Wands energy is making you think that this is not necessary, that it's something you can put on the back burner. But when I look at this card, it kind of looks like these are two individuals that have gone through a lot, and at the end of the day, they're still able to stay together. They are still able to make it through all of the cups that have spilled and have turned over, and there are no more cups in their hands, but what's in their hands is each other. They're still holding on to each other. And so this is kind of telling me that this King of Wands energy is going to be, it's going to be a hindrance until you get your affairs in order. So love is not something that you throw to the wayside, and fulfillment is something that you are going to need on this journey. Because as a king, you can't really step out unless your house is in order. Your house has to be in order in order to step out as a king. And it looks like, just from the way this card is reading, something just happened. There could have been something just happened, or the smoke is just clearing from something that happened. And so getting your house in order would help you with this King of Wands energy. It would definitely help you. And so love, I'm not hesitating, but it's just interesting how the other signs, it was more about them putting love aside and focusing on what they need to focus. But for you guys, it looks like you are ready and focused to be that king, but you want to put love aside. And that's not going to work with the setup of your cards and the energy that is here. You're going to have to work on love. You're going to have to work on this emotional fulfillment. It's not something you can put aside. It's not something you can put aside. This is something you need to take seriously. There's someone's hand. There's someone's hand that you should be holding on this journey. And you need to figure out what's going on with that situation. And I'll see if anything else comes back up to clarify that. But, the reason I said that is because this king is not looking at this Ten of Cups. The king is not looking at the Ten of Cups. He's looking somewhere else. And that's concerning. So, the next card is the Hermit. The Hermit has made another appearance. This is the Sage. This is Ampu. This is your teacher. This is a guide. This is the Crossroads. And the card is reversed, and so there's a possibility that you are now coming out of a situation. And like I said, with the king over here, I do see smoke in the background. So you could be coming out of a situation, and that's why it's reversed. I hope it's not a situation that you don't think that you don't have to master some type of subject. Because if you're a king, kings are constantly educating themselves. They're constantly putting themselves in hermit mode so that they can reflect and come back out to the populace. And so, this hermit reverse, it's also speaking about your friends and your associates. And so maybe you're taking time to think about that on that side. On the left side, you have love, and on the right side, you have your friends and your associates. And actually, both cards are down. And so maybe you're trying to move out as a king solo. But that's kind of a setup for disaster, because the king needs his court and the king needs his queen. So getting those things in order, you have to figure out who your friends are, and you have to figure out who is going to be on your right side, on your right-hand side. So, yeah, that's an interesting contrast. And the king isn't looking at his friendships, his associates, and he's not looking at his queen. So he's looking straight ahead, and he's looking at something else. So yeah, getting your affairs in order. If you want to step out as this king, as this leader, as this hero, you have to get your court and you have to get your home in order. And that's what I'm getting from this. Because it looks like whatever you're waiting to come in, this love, you're waiting for something superficial. You're waiting for something. It looks like you're waiting for something superficial, but you actually have something greater that's next to you. You actually have something greater that's next to you. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. You'll have to figure that out, but I'm not going to clarify it. Sorry, I'm running out of time already. But yeah, I'll get back into that. I'll get back into that later. So, okay, the next card I want to do is this Two of Swords. So again, this is your third card that's reversed. The Two of Swords is now reversed. And the Two of Swords speaks about partnerships. It speaks about people that you want to work with. It speaks about your image and partnerships. And it talks about fears of being alone. It is reversed. And so this individual seems to be fighting someone that doesn't even exist. And so maybe it's the shadows of their mind. Maybe there's something in your mind, something in your subconscious that you're fighting. You're projecting it on your partner. Because your partner doesn't even have a sword in their hand. They don't even know what battle that they're fighting. And you have a light on, but you have blindfolds on. So what do you need to see? Why don't you just take the blindfolds off and look at the real problem instead of the boogeyman that has grown bigger and bigger because you can't actually see him anymore and you're not even actually looking at it. So this card talks about going within and taking a look at your actual true fears. This card seems to speak about isolation and maybe someone who closes themselves off. And so just understanding your true intentions? Is it a fear of being alone, that you make yourself alone for not having to feel rejection? Is it a fear of abandonment? Something has this individual afraid, with a sword, guarding themselves in a shallow pond. They can't drown in it, and they can't protect themselves from anything else in it either. So it just kind of looks pointless, and it looks redundant. And so it's asking you to use your intuition to take a better look at your true fears. And it is kind of directly under the 10 of Cups. And so maybe, love is a fear of yours. Fulfillment in love, true love, is something that you're fearing, but you don't know why. You do not know why, because you've made a situation bigger than probably it really is, or you took an old situation and brought it forward. This also speaks about the combination of these two cards together, the Two of Swords and the 10 of Cups. It also has a kind of Piscean feel. And so Pisces speaks about sacrifice. And so they will make sacrifices for others. They will sacrifice themselves for others. And, maybe that's what this king is doing. He's sacrificing his happiness, his friendships, relationships, and his queen for some other cause. I don't know if it's a righteous cause or a selfish cause. I'm not sure. Because Aries can be selfish, so they say. Aries is a selfish, impulsive energy. And so maybe this king is going out on his own, and not for family, not for country, not for love. But it does speak about looking at things in a different way. Pisces can get themselves out of their situations by looking at things differently. If they continue to look at things in a stagnant way, if they continue to sacrifice themselves for others, they can only lead themselves down the wrong path. So when you look at the card for Pisces, it's a hangman. It's a man being hung by his foot. And so when you're swinging there upside down, you have no choice but to look at the world in a different way. And so maybe this spread is saying for you to find a different way to look at love, so that you can have the love that you want. But it's definitely asking you to reduce whatever fear that you have, whatever unknown fears, fears that have no basis. There could be fears that have no basis that you have concerning relationships. And so you're being asked to look at it in another way, because you're in control of your happiness. It's not in anyone else's hands. It's your hands. And so you make the rules. You should be able to receive as well as give. The last card is the 9 of Wands. And so this deck has me looking at the 9 of Wands completely differently. It is still a mental card. It's a card of mental achievement. These individuals are very smart, and they use their brains in every situation. This individual, it also does speak about your friends again. So your friends are all over here, your friends and your associates, and some kind of path that you want to be on is here. And this individual looks like they've arrived. It looks like they've made it, and they're about to transition to a new phase. 9 speak about endings, and they speak about beginnings. And so this is taking something to a higher height, taking some kind of achievements, your badges of honors that you've collected, and it's now time to go higher. Maybe some kind of mental contribution that you have, maybe some kind of way that you communicate is something that is good for you and beneficial. But it's time to go higher, and now you have a new sword. And it's almost time to let go of your wands, but I can't help but notice these two wands in the back. And it's like obvious that where those 2 wands were was where you started before. And now you're up front with your brand new wand, with your brand new sword. You transitioned from a wand to a sword. And I just can't help but feel that it's telling you to remember that from which you came. And there are things that you that are precious to you, and you want to remember that. You want to remember that when you're starting new, so that you don't make the same mistakes that you made. Because it looks like those two wands should have made it up. Honestly, it looks like those two wands behind should have come up front, but they couldn't. For whatever reason, they couldn't come with you. And I think it's just important that at this phase of your journey, that you need to remember that you're going to start anew again sometime in the future. And you want to make sure that on this journey, you can preserve what is truly important to you. Because I don't think you can't take those two wands with you on this stretch, on this terrain that you're on. It's not going to work. It's not going to work on this terrain. But you want to make sure that what you accumulate on this journey, there's no reason to leave anyone behind. That's what I'm getting from this. Don't leave anyone behind on your new journey, and prepare for a new phase. Maybe a new way to communicate too. You have a new tool. You're given a new tool with the 9 of Wands. It's like a graduation. It's time to go higher. It's time to get that 10 of Wands and let go of these burdens. But just understand that we are constantly in cycles. 1 through 9, 1 through 9, 1 through 9. We're constantly going through cycles, and you're about to hit the 10. And so just prepare for a new phase, and just try to find a way to keep the things that had value to you on this journey. The last card, and oh my God, we're at 20 minutes for Aquarius. I should have known. So the 6 of Pentacles is here, and I always look at the 6 of Pentacles as though someone needs to make a decision. The 3 of Pentacles talks about a marriage for money, and so the 6 of Pentacles is a decision. It's a path. You have 2 paths that you can take for a harmonious relationship. But I also know that the 6 of Pentacles is in Aquarius right now, and it's dealing with the planet Saturn. And so Saturn is here, and Saturn is karma. Okay? So Aquarians are being asked to clear their karma at this time. Saturn was there all year last year, and so you probably felt it in whatever area Aquarius was in, whatever house, 1 through 12. We all have Aquarius somewhere in our house, and somewhere we were being judged, and karma was here. And so Aquarius, you guys are feeling it right now. It's on its way back up to the 3rd decan, and so that's 20 degrees to 29 degrees. So you want to find whatever planet you have at that degree and know that karma is hitting that planet. 0 through 9, the 1st decan of Aquarius, and 10 through 19, you guys have probably gone through it. You still felt it. You could still be feeling the after effects of it. But the higher degrees, the 3rd decan is about to go through it right now. I think in May, Saturn moves to Pisces. But right now it is in Aquarius. And so you're going to have to deal with it. This is your friends. This is your associates. Aquarius is technology. You could be going through some kind of karma with technology. It's your hopes. You're going through karma with your hopes, your wishes, and your dreams. All of that stuff is affecting you right now. And it depends on what house this is in for you. That's going to be a whole nother element. So yeah, you're making a decision about who you want to make money with. You're making a decision about your values and what you value at this time. And just how you communicate that to people. So one more thing I wanted to mention before I go. I wanted to bring mythology into it because I've been watching this Saturn 6 of Coins energy. And when I was doing my research, it speaks about Cetus. And Cetus is the giant whale. And whales and large animals and things like that is more of a Piscean, Neptunian energy. And so it's here in the Aquarius constellation. And it says that mythology informs us that this is the largest constellation in the sky, Cetus, and that this whale was the monster that devoured the innocent youths of the country as a punishment for the haughty pride of their queen. And it says, in this manner is symbolized the tendency of those born under this influence to enter into matrimony from other motives than those of pure love, or for some material motive renouncing love altogether. To be consumed by its energy inversely directed, these people reach their greatest efficiency and attainment only in harmonious association with kindred soul of opposite sex. When they deny true love or make it subservient to material ambitions, they are in great danger. But when they follow the dictates of the heart and realize companionship in the higher sense, they become efficient workers for human betterment. A solitary life is not beneficial to these people. They should mix with others and take a keen interest in helping to make the world a better place in which to live. This is the work for which they are fitted. And this is from Delineating the Horoscope by C.C. Zane. And you can get that at the Church of Light, the Religion of the Stars. So they have a great load of information there, especially about the mythology of everything. And the mythology is where you find your story. And so some of you might be in situations where you are choosing to throw love out of the door and just go for material concerns. But Cetus is here to devour you. Saturn and Karma is here to devour that notion. And it's something you need to be very careful. And I did make mention in the spread, it does look like the King of Wands is trying to go out on his own. Like he doesn't care about the love for his friends, and he's not caring about the love in his castle, and he just wants to push out forward. Even whatever he's waiting for is not something of substance, or he's not treating it as something of substance. One of the two. And so just be very careful right now and very mindful about the decisions you make during money. Money and your thoughts are things that you're going to have to be very mindful of, because there's obviously something that has happened maybe in a past life. But if you're at a point where it's like, oh God, how is this happening to me? Understand that this could be some kind of karma that you're clearing. And so it's very important to be charitable at this time. It's important to give money freely, to give your time and to give your service freely. That will offset some of this karma that maybe you guys are going through, because a lot of doors are kind of closed on this board, on this spread. So yeah, just be mindful of that. And again, don't shut the door to love. Like, God is love. You know, at the end of the day, all we are looking for is love. And if you try to find another route to God, you're going to have difficulties. That is the easiest and the fastest route to the divine. It is the easiest, fastest way to deity, whatever your beliefs are. You came from somewhere, and if you want to return to that which you came, love is the key. So get your house in order, get your friends in order. You need your court. The king needs his court, and the king needs his queen. So make sure you take care of that and take care of your karma. And I'll have more on it. I'm going to do some videos on Mars and Saturn. Hopefully tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. So you guys take care, and I'll talk to you later.